Hello, my name is Victoria Villas-Vicioso and I'll be presenting to you today. This presentation is about the effects of low-density urbanization on the genetic structure in the Song Sparrow. I know the title of this research project may seem a little intimidating, but I promise it is not. I'm going to begin this presentation by breaking up the title and giving you some background information regarding it. First, what is urbanization? According to Britannica, urbanization is the process by which large numbers of people become permanently concentrated in a relatively small area, forming cities. Second, you may be asking yourself, what is the song sparrow? Melospisa melodia is a medium-sized bird that is abundant and native to North America. They are territorial and highly philopatric. The urban males in this study were significantly more territorially aggressive compared to birds in the rural habitats. Now that you have some background information, I'm going to speak of the experiment that was done. In this experiment, a variety of researchers investigated the effect of low-intensity urbanization on the genetic structure in the song sparrows. These researchers basically want to figure out if humans' part in habitat loss and fragmentation has caused any genetic evolution of the song sparrows to change. Habitat loss and fragmentation is characterized by the disruption of landscapes and the separation of natural areas into smaller patches with reduced area and increased isolation. The researchers have stated that this is a major concern for the evolving world, and it is comparable to climate change and pollution. The researchers observed that habitat changes have severe effects on a lot of animal populations. For example, urbanization has been shown to affect the genetic diversity and variety of animal species. They hypothesized that they would see lower genetic diversity and increased levels of genetic differentiation in birds sampled at sites with higher levels of urbanization. They are expressing the idea that the song sparrows that live in places where there are restricted interactions and smaller living areas will have a different genetic structure compared to a song sparrow that is currently in a better living condition. This experiment took place on 7 sites in around Blacksburg, Virginia. These sites included rural, urban, and suburban areas. For example, farmland was used with the landowner's permission, of course. To define and quantify each land, they used a method called principal component analysis. This is where they scored different categories on the land and divided it by an aerial image. These scores led them to calculate the urbanization index. On this slide, you can see real-time photo of the lands and the actual locations they used. Following that, they used microsatellite genotypes to compare the genetic diversity and population structure of 208 birds. The birds were primarily captured through fake songs that resembled their native sounds and misnetting. The genetic samples were obtained from blood collected through the brachial vein. Disclaimer: this study was conducted under many permits. After extracting their DNA from the blood blots, they were able to separate the sample between male and female. Males were determined by showing a single bright fragment, while females were determined by showing 3 product fragments. The researchers used 2 genetic analysis machines. A subset of samples were sent to 2 different locations and analyzed on each machine. The analysis confirmed that fragment lengths were comparable across the board. Here are the results from the experiment. Of 208 birds, 94% of them were males. Each male was successively genotyped. Of all the genotyped males, they were generally similar across the 7 study sites, and the difference did not seem to be related to the urbanization index. Concluding this experiment, the researchers were not able to find evidence of the effect of low-density urbanization on the genetic diversity or structure of the song sparrow living along this specific urbanization index. Alongside that, there were also no evidence of isolation. In conclusion, low-intensity urbanization is not affecting the song sparrow population genetically, and the behavioral differences between urban and rural birds are more likely a response to environmental heterogeneity. Even though this study showed us that low-density urbanization did not affect the song sparrows, it does not cancel out the fact that urbanization affects many parts of the ecosystem. This is only one type of animal in a specific place with specific circumstances. We have to take into account the animals that are living in high-density places. It is then where we have to acknowledge those problems. Also, every species is different and comes with its own subset of issues and solutions that need to be tailored to them. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something new today.